Hi guys, yeah, making another video. Yeah, I've tried to make the sound quality better. I've put the microphone volume to max, so hopefully it works. And yeah, there's really not much I can do about the video quality, but you know, that doesn't really matter. Yeah, I haven't been watching a lot of videos this week. Yeah, I'm like 5 videos behind on like everyone's channels, but you know, gotta do some catching up. I don't know what I've been doing. I've just been busy doing nothing. Yeah, got the exams over, so that's good. Should be pretty easy going now. I only got a few courses going on. Yeah, one of those courses is the interesting, fascinating, course about Christian ethics and morality that I mentioned in some video. I think it was the euthanasia or suicide one. Yeah, that course started today, and oh my fucking god, it's yeah. I'm just gonna spend this video, talking about, that and some conversations I had at school today, because those are kind of a good springboard, I think, to talk about these topics. I might make a video, a couple of video responses today, but we'll see. Yeah, the course started, and oh my fucking, what's this? Yeah, oh my fucking shit. The teacher just started talking how the course is gonna be about, yeah, basically just morality and how to, it's all fine and dandy that she's like, this course is not here to, explain what to think, but how to think, and, we can just, even if you disagree, you can still just be here and learn about this subject, and, then you're gonna have more information and know what you're up against, and, it's all fine. I mean, the basic idea, know what you're up against, and know, like, you don't have to agree, or you don't have to, like, learn what to think, but how to think. I mean, that's kind of good, but it still would be, I think, obviously would be good if they just, I mean, I personally hate the fact that even in philosophy courses they are like, this is what this person said, and this is what this person said, and you can choose the best alternative. I mean, yeah, it's good, but I mean, they should just explain why some of them are better answers. I mean, seriously. I just find it ridiculous that they actually teach this crap, that they teach Christian morality, and some other religions like Muslim morality, and like in philosophy courses they teach what Plato thought about something, and they teach what Rousseau thought about something, and I personally think that Rousseau was a complete, you can just ignore the guy. He basically said that, everything would be just fine and good if everyone just went back to Stone Age. I mean, and that's retarded, and we really don't need to know that. We really didn't need that information, and I mean, that's, yeah, this, I'm not gonna even go into the whole education thing, how ridiculous it is, but yeah, well, Christian morality course, woohoo! And yeah, we're gonna have a presentation there too, so this time we can't choose our subjects ourselves. We're gonna draw, just a random subject from a hat or something. So I really hope we get euthanasia or something, or abortion. But yeah, 35 minutes of presentation. It's gonna be whatever. Hope we don't get any. Well, well, you know what I think. Anyway, yeah, I talked to this guy at school. It's interesting that people are actually fairly interested in this, and we're actually having long discussions about antinatalism and stuff at school, which I think is very good, because, you know, I think I'm better at convincing people when we're like face to face. I don't know why, but yeah, and they are not total strangers anyway. They're my friends or school, you know, people I know. So yeah, it's a bit easier. They don't think I'm a total nut job. But yeah, this guy eventually, when we talked about this, he eventually said that, you know, it's better to, and I think Greatex has said this, that, you know, any life is better than no life. I don't know if it was Greatex or someone, I don't remember, but someone said it anyway, and I just think that's the biggest pile of shit I've ever heard. Like, any life is better than no life. Like, and we started to talk about this. If there was a button that erased all life without causing any suffering, then would I press it? And I said yeah, and he was like, okay, well, the argument's over, but right there. I mean, that's just total appeal to popularity and appeal to, you know, emotions of that people are like, oh, but you can't erase all life because it's all fluffy and blah. And yeah, and then I said that burden of proof is on him to prove that life is worth living, and he came up with a brilliant counter argument that, you know, if you don't like it, you can just kill yourself. I mean, that's like, that hasn't been dealt with before. Like, if I rape someone and the person doesn't like it, I can just tell them, yeah, well, if you don't like it, you can just keep on living, or you can kill yourself. Don't complain. Or like, yeah, you can keep living shit, or you can kill yourself. Those are two brilliant alternatives. And anyway, and obviously he went on and said that, well, why don't you just kill yourself then? And I'm like, first of all, it really shouldn't be like my responsibility, my job to kill myself. It should be, don't just euthanize all the victims, just stop creating victims. And it's illegal anyway, so what the fuck? I even can't really do it in any kind of graceful or civilized way. I have to blow my brains out violently or do something like that, so fuck that. And anyway, it's like telling a heroin addict to, why don't you just stop using heroin? Well, it's not fucking easy. You think it's easy to just kill yourself? Of course not. I mean, you have to be really fucked up to be able to, I mean, you have to be fucked up bad to go that far that you actually hang yourself or something. You have to be really depressed. You have to be, life has, like, your life has to be total fucking shit for you to be able to go that far, because it's, you know, taking your own life is very unpleasant. So you know, the alternative has to be extremely gruesome for you to take such a shitty, you know, action. So well, yeah, I mean, anyone who says that any life is better than no life, I would just ask them if that, the question about the Elephant Man planet, and would you create, if there was no life anywhere, would you press the button if the button created a planet that was just, you know, 7 billion Elephant Man people? So yeah, would you do that? I mean, if it was a planet like this, I wouldn't do it. If it was a planet full of elephant men, I mean, of course I wouldn't do it. If it was a planet that was twice, you know, however we're gonna measure that, but, you know, twice as good as this one, I mean, let's just say that people were twice as happy, well, I still wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it in any case. Even if it was like a paradise, that everyone was just like, la 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 la, and it's all so brilliant, and we're just having these little deprivations, and then we're fulfilling our little deprivations and having this fun time. and no one is suffering more than the small discomforts of, let's say, hunger, and then they're fulfilling their hunger by their small tiny hunger by eating this good food. I mean, I still wouldn't do it, because, you know, why basically. I mean, it would be, at that point it would be basically just, it wouldn't really matter if I did it or not, but you know, I really don't have any reason to do it. So, and we're certainly not there. So yeah, what was I talking about? Well, yeah, I think I shuddered a couple of the ideas that he had about how life was so grand and beautiful, and because, you know, people have extremely high tolerance of this shit as long as it doesn't happen to them, like, you know, World War II or plague or Hiroshima, Fukushima, what else, Holocaust. I mean, people tolerate this shit, like the American Civil War, World War One. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And I just, you know, yesterday morning I just saw a film called Men Behind the Sun, also known as Black Sun, I think, or like Black Sun 731 or something like that. And it's about this, it's based on a true story, which is, I mean, I'm a huge horror movie fan, and I've seen pretty much, you know, I've seen the Serbian film, and saw Hostel, I Spit on Your Grave, Cannibal Holocaust, and, you know, Human Centipede. I mean, I've seen all the gruesome shit, and oh my fucking god, when I saw that film, I was like, it made me just hate humanity, because, you know, that film it's kind of exploitative in its nature, you know, kind of like Nazi exploitation films, but it's also kind of, the film was basically made to raise awareness of this thing that happened. Because these Japanese had this, you can just Google it and you can find articles about this. The Japanese had this special unit called 731 that was, you know, meant to, you know, research and create biological and bacterial, you know, weapons. And they performed completely inhumane human experiments on Chinese and Korean and Russian people, civilians. They fucking tortured them. They, like, and, you know, in the film there was like a pressure chamber thing where this guy puked, you know, basically his guts out and shit his guts out and died, and because of the pressure. And I mean, there was one scene where they froze these women's hands, and then they, you know, just kind of tapped them with a stick, and they just cracked off, just fell off. And, you know, they boiled someone's hands, and, you know, then they had these poisonous gas, you know, tests where they had put people in gas chambers and tested these gases, and they like tied people to crosses on this field full of detonation, like full of explosives, and then they blew them up, and, you know, they tested these explosives and stuff, and they farmed like plague infested rats with plague, you know, infested fleas, so that they could put them in these special bombs that they designed and shoot these, you know, bombs full of fleas and cause plague. I mean, really, they talked about the bubonic plague. So, and the film is supposed to be really accurate. It was made in the 88, I think, 1988. And, you know, I read about it on Wikipedia, and it actually, I don't know if they actually had pressure chambers and, you know, boiled people's hands and stuff like that, but they were actually just, they were worse than Nazis, basically. And, yeah, and it really happened, and a lot of people still don't know about this, even in Japan. And the director was showing this film, I think, in a university or something, and he had one of the person who was a member of the youth corps of this unit, who was there basically to testify that it really happened. But yeah, it happened. Yeah, happened a long time ago, and the film was made in the 80s. So I guess that person is